Hello again, and welcome back to another daily technical analysis video. In this video, we'll be covering BNB. So let's get started right away, but we're going to look again at the weekly time frame. I know that before this weekend, we did say that it was a pretty bullish, strong bounce off of this weekly pivot confluence to the bottom of this channel. But what we want to keep in mind is that we are not in the clear for the straight up to the upside because the weekly is still towards a downside, as we can see a clear downtrend off of this leg right here. So we do want to see some sort of reversal to the upside before we actually consider the upsides. But as for right now, we are still bearish on the weekly time frames, even with the stochastics being overbought as well. Going towards the downside as well as the RSI. So in general, the momentum is pretty weak. And going downside for the bears. So we are again siding for the bears. Now if we go to the daily time frame, we have had a rejection thus far off of this 0.25 Fibonacci level. So this is essentially just a retracement to retest, break and retest from here of this 0.25 level, but also a lower high for this level around here. We did surpass the golden pocket just a little bit, but we still got rejected right off the 786 Fibonacci level. So if we do close below here, then we could consider this as a confirmed lower high, and therefore a continuation to the downside or some sort of retracement downwards. But given again that we are in a clear daily downtrend here, we could expect a further decline even beyond the previous low. So we could see a significant decline here from this point. If we do decline, the first point of bounce support would be the daily S2, followed by the bottom of the channel again, and then the 377 EMA, depending on where it is. I don't think it would come down straight here, so it might be a little bit higher or even in confluence with the low of this previous low. And then followed by that, we get the daily S3. So we want to be aware of these levels as they do come by, even though price action may be rising within this impulse. We do want to keep in mind again that the EMAs are also still pretty bearish. So if the 55 yellow EMA crosses below the 100 purple EMA, then we could see even more of a significant decline and an accelerant for that decline. If we look into the stochastics, we do see that the resistance that we did identify previously had broken, but seems to be turning. It may turn downwards from here, but we can only tell after maybe even a couple days closures to see whether it does cross back down and rejects back down. So even though it did break this resistance level here, because we get a rejection and turn back down before the bullish territory above 60 or around this level, it is a pretty bearish sign and therefore a continuation to the downside. Like even then, this could be a doji with a confirmation candle with a bearish engulfing as well to add confluence to that. Based on the price action right now, this is a confirmation of, well, not confirmed until the daily closure, of a swing failed pattern of this daily S1 and also a rejection of these levels around here. If we now look into the lower time frames, we see that the EMAs are clumping and still kind of a little bit messy, but now the lower EMAs are starting to slant back downwards, and if we see divergences here, then we can see strong momentum towards the downside. We see that the momentum's already towards the downside and that the stochastics is in the oversold territory, but this may signify more strength for the bears. And we want to keep eye for a cross of the 20 to see any reversals. Right now we are on critical support level. Not only is it the HP, but it's also in confluence with the previous channel that we've been talking about. I guess it's not on this one, but essentially it's this channel right here. So we are close to the bottom. Front run even just a little bit because of the support level being a bit higher. But if we do get the cross up here, and this is kind of like a range, we could see that rise up to near the top side of this range. We drew this range on this time, or on the normal Binance one. Oh, never mind. I guess we did hit the median, so it might have been something else. But essentially, I think we could actually redraw this and pull it up to the top based on our practices before, and therefore we could see a rise to this median as the next level of resistance if we do go towards the upside, and then followed by the top. Right now though, it seems to be that the bear sentiment is stronger in general for the markets. 4 hour time frame, we also see a downtrend here too. So this could just be a downtrend within this leg of this channel, or we could see continuations even further beyond. Because of this downtrend, you want to be playing these shorts from the retracements. Even from this retracement, you could short it. We can test whether that works or not. But what I want to talk about is the previous channel break that we've had within this region right here. So if we do a target, we broke around here, and if we did just pull a target from it, we see that the target would have been a little bit beyond the HR1. But note how the price action stopped right before it. It front ran it a little bit, but it actually was more of a proper target for the HR1 because this was an actual horizontal level. So in reality, even though this target level exceeded this horizontal level, we would target a bit lower because of the fact that this support takes, or sorry, this resistance takes, what is it called? It takes more priority than just a random target from the channels. And therefore we saw that rejection around here. It would have been a little bit tricky here to identify whether it would continue to actually touch the HR1, but I guess it's safe to front run these in the long run. And as you can see from there, we just got a closure below the channel and it continued to the bottom. But now that we are down here in this range again, I think we can pull the top of the channel to be here and consider this as another range area. So in general, we want to watch for both ways. There's one possible play, which would be the bottom long of this channel. If we get that cross above confirmed, then we could play along to the top of the channel or even to the median. But as for right now, because we're downtrending and the EMAs are starting to look weak and the daily is looking weak too, we could be playing lower highs and continue going all the way down. Based on these levels here, I think, yeah, there would be a level right there. Yes, exactly. So first we test the bottom of the channel, an actual official test of the bottom of the channel, which is also in confluence with this 4-hour time frame. And then if we continue downwards, we'd see the next level 4-hour. And then soon after would be the HS1, and then again the channel that we talked about before. I think the daily levels are here too. I guess there's a daily level confluence right here. We can actually draw that right now. We call it the daily S2, bring it into the daily time frames, and then we just open everything. Perfect. And there we go. Yeah, so this would actually be a critical level of support for the next level because of the daily too, if we do continue going downwards, but that would be a target. But it would be difficult to go too far down because the stochastics is already oversold so much. So either we see some sort of range around this level to reset it even, and those would be like higher peaks that you can resell off. But it's really difficult to tell which play you should be taking. Well, honestly, you shouldn't be taking any, not financial advice, but this is what I would be doing. Potentially in the future, I'll figure out whether I would be taking the channel play or the trend play based on probabilities, which one's going to react better, especially since we are above support right here. But I guess because it's a downtrend, you play the downtrend. It's very difficult to know. I don't really know. Because either it is you play the channel. Maybe you play the channel until it breaks, and then you can continue off those downtrends, sells off those lower highs. So potentially right now you could be playing along to the top. But anyway, that's about it. We're basically ranging right now in BNB, even though the other markets are declining. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something from it. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one and continuations of our assessments. Cheers.